Hey guys, CDC team. Hi, hi. So, who all are the organizers here? Okay, so only Kirti, right? Hardik also. Okay. How many people would be joining us today? Anyone?
Sir, we have shared the link, the student groups. We'll wait for people to join.
Okay, sure.
Hello. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Okay. So I guess we can already start. People will keep on joining, and it is also being live streamed on YouTube, so people can catch up on it later also. So good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you all today's interaction. This event is a special occasion where we have the opportunity to hear from one of our distinguished alumni, Mr. Ishank Jina, who is currently working as an analyst at Deloitte. Mr. Jina has been where you are now and has successfully navigated both the academic and professional worlds. Today he is here to share his journey, experiences, and valuable insights into the transition from being a student to becoming a professional in a global organization. His guidance will surely provide you with the perspective you need as you prepare for your future careers. Now, I would like to request Mr. Ishant Jina to take over the meet ahead. And you can turn on your camera, sir. I'll also turn my camera to make this session interactive.
Okay. Thanks, Kirti, for the lovely introduction. It was a little extra, but anyway. My name is Ishank, and I'm from like the 2024 CST batch. And yes, I currently work at Deloitte as an analyst. Yeah, this was about me. I think you don't need anything else about me other than I think you would have questions about like the experience of the interviews and other than that working at Deloitte. And I'm here to answer all those queries. I think I'll just walk you through a general overview of how my interview went. Okay, then you can decide on the questions that you want to ask. Is that clear to everyone?
yes,
Sure, that
that's
would
clear.
help.
Sure. Yeah, I think Deloitte visited the campus like the prior week, right? For 2025 batch. Does anyone know?
Sir, Deloitte haven't visited the campus yet. The registration hasn't started, but haven't visited the
Okay,
campus
okay.
for the
So
placement.
yeah, the process has started, but the visit has not been. Tests have you had? I think the SHL test and the like aptitude test would be there, right? Right, guys? I think yeah. So you will have उनका result आ गया है क्या? Do you have the results out for the Deloitte sessions?
Uh,
No.
Sir, I'm not really sure if any tests have been placed at campus yet. Only the registration part took place.
Okay, okay, okay.
After that, I guess no aptitude tests have been done yet. Yes, sir.
Okay, if it hasn't taken place, then all the best to everyone participating in it. And I would say give the test well. And other than that, if you qualify for interviews, then this part would be relevant for you. So my interview, I think it was in three stages. We had an HR round first, then a technical round, then a second business leadership round, which was more or less technical for me, as well as for my peers also. So the HR round initially was with like the campus representative of Deloitte. It was Karan, I think. Yeah. So I would say it's just an HR interaction. You just have to be, attentive to what the questions are being asked and answer honestly, or I'd say answer a little extra. So I'll give you an example. He asked me to introduce myself and my family. Okay, so I did introduce myself. I introduced my family, but I added some extra points just for the HR interview. Okay, so you can say that both my parents are working, so I've been independent from my childhood and all these points. It gives a little extra expansion impression on the HR. And I think the HR interview is not that good, or I'd say in it. The technical round, the first technical round was easy. They just asked string and hash map questions. I think you must be familiar with that. But the second HR, the second leadership round, that was a tough one to crack, I'd say. They'd ask multiple puzzles. They'd ask about your projects, and you have to be well versed with the projects, okay? And for Deloitte, especially, I would say whatever you have written in your CV, you should be thorough with that. Don't try to, copy a project and copy it if you know how it works and if you can explain it well. Otherwise, don't do it. And I'd say, acha, okay, so I'll just explain what happened in my leadership round. So he asked me a question. It was a DSA question. He asked me, how do you implement this undo functionality, or I'd say word search, like the spell correct for functionality in MS Word or other Google Docs type document editing softwares. So he asked me this question, and I, after a lot of thought, I answered try. So you must be familiar with try, TRIE. It's a data structure, right? So yeah, so my interviewer said, okay, yeah, you're close, but try would take a lot of space. Can you optimize it further? Now, I didn't really have an answer to it, so I just tried interacting with him for another minute, and he did give me the answer. It was called like a ternary search tree. I was not even aware of the word till then. So that's how you should keep the interview interactive, right? And I would say anticipate rejection from the beginning, so that even if you get selected, it's a surprise for you, okay? And you won't feel like brokenhearted or something. If and another instance I would give you that during the second technical interview, he asked me, like, I knew that SQL was not my forte, okay? I hadn't practiced SQL a lot. So he asked me, how would you rate your SQL skills? So instead of just giving him a straight, simple answer like, okay, 5 or 6, also I added that, sir, I've given, and SQL has been a pain point for me, and I've been working on SQL a lot. So just because I added this line, he said, "Okay, you're working on SQL, right? I'll not ask you SQL today." So I got saved in that interview because of that answer. So you try to be a little extra, a little smart, and it might work in favor for you. Yeah, so this was my overall interview experience. After that, I got a call from Deloitte. And if you want to know what work we do right now, then it is SAP Consulting. If you've heard of SAP, so it's not SD. They interviewed us for SD, but they put us all in is SAP. It's a nice line, but yeah, it depends on what you want to do. Most of you, I think, would be wanting to go to SD roles. Okay, so this was my interview experience related to Deloitte. I also gave another interview, like a few other interviews in college. If you want to know about that, then you can let me know. Otherwise, if you have any questions related to the process at Deloitte, the work culture, anything at Deloitte, you can ask me.
Like how was the difficulty level of the aptitude test? Like before interview, they will have to prepare for the test, right? So how can they prepare for it then?
I think it was of moderate levels. I won't say very hard. Again, it depends on your preparation level. Hard. A few questions might be, but it's all relative when it comes to selection. So if others have done it, then you should have also done it. If others have not been able to done it, then you might get selected even if you didn't. It's always relative. You can never guess which year they would ask hard questions and all, right?
Yeah, right, Ishank. And would you like to like share how's life been at Deloitte at the moment? How's the work culture and how's the work timing and everything?
Sure, I would love to. You must know that it's just been like 3 weeks for us at Deloitte, including the orientation. So our joining was a little late. It was on 26th of August. It hasn't even been a month for us, and so far so good. We have had good experiences with all our colleagues, managers, and because we're a big group at Deloitte right now, our team is small, but there's a lot of alumni at Deloitte, so we meet them, and yeah, that's how it has been. And work timings, I think, for the initial 2 to 3 months, you're expected to come regularly to office. It was a pain point for us, but yeah, we're adapting to it. Any other questions?
Okay, Ishank, we'll just wait for people to write their questions in the comment section if they have any. Or even if you
Okay.
turn on your mic and ask us, you can feel free to ask us. Yes, Anushka.
Hi, Anushka.
Hello, sir. I just want to ask before to reach the interview, what's the process? Like with the technical part and the aptitude section
The process for the interview.
before the interview.
For us, I think it was an aptitude test, which included a coding round as well, like 2 to 3 questions of coding, some SQL. It's like I think it was on Hacker Rank, and after test from SHL, it's like the Pearson. I think it was from Pearson. So you'll have to read. It contains of reading, writing, vocabulary, all those things. It's a standard test. Are we clear, Anushka? This was
Yes, sir.
pre-screening.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Okay, is work culture really hectic at Deloitte as stereotyped? It's, I'm not the right person to answer. I've been here for just 2 weeks. It can get a little hectic. It depends on the project, and some business lines would have something called a busy season. So we do not have that right now. In the busy season, it is hectic actually. But I think Deloitte as a company, you all know that it's a big name, right? It's a big name, but yeah, they expect a lot from you. There's no sort of like classroom training for everything that in college you get courses and all. In other companies also, like Accenture and TCS, you did do get courses to complete and all that. But in Deloitte, it's mostly on the project work. So even for some cases, even from day one, you might get allocated to a project. For us, it's been 2 weeks of training, and now from Monday onwards, we have been allocated to our managers. Will be work on project. It can get hectic sometimes, but you should be prepared for that, right? I mean, you're joining an organization; you're expected to work, so you should. It's not toxic, I'd say. It's not toxic. It's hectic. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Anyone,
Guys,
anyone
any more
else?
questions? You can write in the comment section. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any role of core subject in interview? Yeah, they might ask if you know this question or like this OS system concept or not, like scheduling. I even forgot, like scheduling in OS or deadlocks, like some important stuff. But it would just be verbal. You will not be asked to explain in detail. Just if you know that or not. In work, I would say the the interview process and the work that you do on field is completely different. You won't be expected to implement any data structures in real life in work. That's a bit disappointing if you are a TSA buff, but yeah. Anyone else?
Okay, thank you, Ishant. Any more questions, guys? You can just keep on writing your questions there. We'll take it up one by one.
Achha, can you all just type yes if you're targeting Deloitte?
Yeah.
Ganesh, Hardik, Lakshay, Shivam, Hardik 2, Arjun, Anushka, Yathan, okay, Chita, Rahul, okay. Okay, we have a question. So, what is the importance of bridge campus learning series? Your topics. I don't know, man, for the Bridge Campus Learning Series. I mean, for us, it was after we got selected. So we thought it was some compliance issue. So we did participate in all that. But if you have those before interviews, I don't really know if they would be asking anything about those. Otherwise, I think they are just general sessions that you know they are optional to attend, and you can. They're more like corporate presentations. That's all. LLD, no, Arjun, they won't expect you to have LLD knowledge at this level. I mean, for this company, I would say. If you're targeting a startup, maybe they would ask.
Ishant, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like, would you like to like talk about your projects? How did you like where your projects really interesting and if the like in the interview round, HRs asked about your project specifically if they were like astonished by projects or something like that. What projects you can work on to build your resume better?
Yeah. Okay. So my projects, I'll have to go back a little bit. I think my projects were one was Python based. I think I worked on a few internships. I like on one internship, it was remote, and we used to work on NLP classification and all those documentation. So it was ML. We had to run ML models. So I kind of explained that. Other than that, we made a group project. It was, I don't know if you know Shubham Verma, Vansh Kumar you might know. He got placed in a big company, D Shaw. Yeah, so Shubham,
Yes, yes.
Vansh, and a few other, we were all on a group. So we also won that hackathon, I think, for that project. I included it in the like resume. It was called Cyclonet. You can find the GitHub, I think, or I'll share it. So Cyclonet is basically like we did it for a Smart India Hackathon initially, and we kind of got it used for other projects as well. So it was about like an ML model internally which would run, and we had a web user interface for it as well. So scientists could basically upload information, or I'd say pictures, from a specific satellite of ISRO, which was called INSAT, which is called INSAT. So INSAT has infrared images. Those, if you upload it on the website, then it would get processed on the ML backend, and it would give you the predicted wind speed or the probability of a cyclone happening around that area. So this was our project on a brief scale. I worked on the backend part of the project, so that's what I
Um,
mentioned. Yeah.
that was a very frustrating project, to be honest. And like working with InStat and all those websites. I also have one more question. How important is it to have a work experience to get shortlisted for companies like Deloitte? Like, can you start as a fresher? Like, you haven't worked anywhere commercially, you have just been like on pretty communities and building projects. Then, is it really easy for like fresher to enter this industry through this big company?
Uh, sorry, I'll just rephrase your question. Is it that work experience is important for freshers? No, no.
Work experience for getting into company like Deloitte? Is it really necessary to have work experience before?
For you, I don't think this question would be that relevant. I mean, you're from the 2025 batch, right? You're not expected to have work experience. I mean, internships are not really counted as work experience. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
I
internships
spoke
are
about
different. Yeah. And actual work experience, on site work experience is different. So, profession, I would say it would depend on the interviewer if he wants to go that way. If you've actually worked on internships, how much products have you done in internships? It would all depend. But yeah, it's not mandatory to have done good internships. Even if you've done a few, like one or two, or even one, then you can post that. Or even if you have not done, you might have done a certification course or something. The Google Cloud course or anything. You can just mention that.
it. Okay, Shams, we have few more questions in the lesson section.
Yeah.
Vidunsi is asking what's the annual CPC Deloitte.
Yeah, the
I think you know.
CTC, it's a 7.6. I think it's 7.6. It would be the same. It's been the same for 5 or 6 years now. Not increasing it. It's the same.
Okay.
What
We
level
have
of
one
DSA
more
should we
question.
aim? Sorry?
Yeah, we have one more question from Shirin Tiwari. You can
Yeah,
just
yeah.
pick it up.
What level of DSA should we aim for to clear online assessments? Are they becoming increasingly difficult? Is it necessary to engage in competitive programming? So, I never did competitive programming. I mean, I tried my hands on it, but it was too much for me. I couldn't dedicate enough time for it. I didn't do competitive programming. If you're targeting, big companies like maybe Atlassian or so, so they might have extra points for competitive programming. Other than that, I would say they do not really expect a lot from freshers. All they want is clarity of concepts and a little uh, being like communication excellence. That's all I would say. And always, what level of DSA? I mean, what level would I don't think there are certain levels. I should think if I were to say, do you give lead code contests? Do you have a rating of like night 1900 plus? If you have 1900 plus, I think you would be okay for that. Otherwise, it depends on the interview. And if you're targeting Deloitte, then no, DSA, you can have moderate level DSA skills and you'd go. It would work fine. Okay.
Any more questions, guys? Anyone would like to ask questions? I saw so many people are targeting Deloitte. Had they are clear with their doubts, then you're getting a opportunity to interact with the alumni. You should ask questions more, I guess.
Okay, I'll just give you an instance. We have two more alumni. They were our super seniors, like 2 years older to us, and they are Saryansh and oh man, I forgot his name. The other one's name. Anyway,
No worries.
so both of us are in our team is also. So yeah, so they have completed like 1.5 year at Deloitte, 1.5 or 2 years at Deloitte maximum, and now they've got promotions and they've already had two international trips. So yeah, Deloitte does offer a few perks if you want to join us. Again, it would depend on the team, but yeah, you could expect trips, a lot of trips, so you can expect.
Okay, Ishan. I guess that will excite a lot of many people to join Deloitte now.
Maybe.
Guys, any more questions? Otherwise, we'll have to wrap up the session. We'll wait for more questions. Some people are still joining.
No issues. They can watch the recording, I think.
Yeah, it will be uploaded on YouTube, so they can catch it up later.
I think there are no more questions.
Yeah, I guess I would like to wrap up this session now.
Just,
So
just.
can we?
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah,
I would like to share another instance. So other
yeah,
than
sure,
Deloitte,
sure.
also I gave a few more interviews in campus. I had a interview for Optum. So in the Optum interview, what happened was they were hiring for like a business analyst type of role or data analyst role. So they took my interview and they kind of realized that yeah, this person is not fit for an analyst role. So they told me that maybe we'll try to get you in the SD team. We have requirements. So they took another interview for SD team, and my like it's a regret for me that I knew JavaScript at that time, but not in that much depth, and I was not confident with my JavaScript skills. Okay, so although I gave the answer correctly, I was not confident. So I think that was the reason that I got rejected from that SD call from Optum. But so I want you to take it that you should be confident in whatever you know, even if you're maybe lacking in skills a little bit, doesn't matter. Just answer with confidence, and they would think it should give the impression that you know this stuff. Okay, if you're confused in the interview, that would not work in your favor. Okay.
Well, you just now you mentioned like,
Okay, he's asking which earpods are you using. I use these noise earbuds here. Is this visible?
okay,
It's
uh,
VS102 Pro if you want the exact name.
okay. Ishan, you mentioned like you were not fit for the analyst role, and so did you the opportunity to sit for the SG role, right? So, uh, why were you not fit for the analyst role? Like, what difference was? So,
Hmm.
what skills did you acquire to have that analyst role? Like,
It's nothing. It's nothing special. It's just I don't know. The interview might know. I'm not the right person to answer this. Yeah.
okay, we have more questions. So, what exact skill set comes to use in projects that are being allocated once you
Allocated.
join the Deloitte?
Okay, so Ayush, it would be completely random at first. It depends on what your manager sees in you, and you'll get allocated projects allocated on that basis. After a few months or after a few projects, they would decide, that this person is more technical, more into technical, or more into the functional world of SAP. For SAP, I'm talking. So yeah, it depends on the manager and whatever the management decides. So initially it would be random, mostly random. But Deloitte has mostly good projects, so you shouldn't worry about that. They have projects with the top companies. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Guys, any more questions? This is the last call for questions. Okay.
What are the rounds of interview and assessments we have? Okay, I think we already covered that, and you might have joined late, Jinal. You can refer to this recording. Okay.
Yes, we have already covered it here. You can watch the recording on YouTube channel of CDC.
Is Microsoft Data Analyst Associate certification helps to get in Deloitte? Maybe yes. It is relevant. It sounds relevant. Maybe you can mention it on your resume. I
Well,
mean, I'm
I
not
have
a
a
recruiter, so I cannot say with
yeah,
confidence if it
understandable.
helps or not. It might help. It's good to have.
I have a similar question. Did you do any of those courses to boost up your resume or something? Any courses you would like to recommend?
I did the Google Cloud course, but it was not to boost with the resume. I did for Swags in second year.
Okay, okay, got it. We have one more question. What should you focus on more for interview part? Like whether they ask more questions about problem solving or development, or it's more about resume project.
Resume projects, they would ask about that. They expect you to know all about your resume projects. And problem solving or development, I think problem solving. For me, it was problem solving. It wasn't development related. If you can build this component in React or anything else. It was about DSA problems. Like in both the interviews, both the technical interviews, it was DSA problems for me.
Well, how to balance problem solving and development simultaneously.
Okay, so I think you should answer this, Shivam. It depends on the person. Like if you could do like daily 5 questions maybe, or three good questions, three hard medium questions, six. It depends on you. And development, though, you have time here. You can do development, whatever projects you want. Even I do projects on the weekends if I get time to do those. It depends on the level of interest you have, right? You can dedicate 16 hours on a day if you are like crazy for development and problem solving. It depends on you.
Okay, I guess that was it for the question, guys. Still asking for the last time if someone wants to ask any more questions in the message section. Well, I guess that was it. And now I would like to conclude this session. Thank you, Mr. Ishan Chena, for taking the time to be with us today and for sharing your valuable insights. I encourage all the students to reflect on what you have learned during the session and apply to your own academic and professional journey. I
Okay, we
guess
have
this
another
way,
question, I think.
Jena will. We have a
Just a
question.
second. We have a question. What level of projects is recommended? Level of projects, it shouldn't be very easy, or it's a very standard that everyone knows this project exists. It should be something unique, I would say. It would give a lasting impression on the recruiters, right? So try to build a unique project, or maybe take a standard project and do some modifications to it, maybe enhancements, added a few features to this. So that's the kind of projects you should aim for to have in your resume. Okay,
I
Ayush.
think we should wait for 2 minutes. Let everyone
Yeah,
go with
okay,
the
yeah. If you
question.
have
We
questions,
have,
please post it. I have time.
yeah.
Deloitte related questions or even SAP related questions if you have any. Ask those. Are there people who've already been placed here?
Uh,
They might not tell, but
yeah,
yeah.
I don't think there's any here. Guys, any more questions from anyone?
Okay, if you have questions that you want to ask, like in private or anything, you can add me on LinkedIn. I would LinkedIn. Okay. I think Kirti would share my LinkedIn with you.
Yeah, yeah, sure, I'll do that.
Okay, how many internal interviews or assessment training period? Internal, like internal as an after call from college. Yush, can you please elaborate? Like I already covered about the levels of interviews that I had. Internal interviews, as in if you're asking about training period. Okay, no, 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 there were no interviews during the training period. Once you're in, you're in. Okay, and I would also say that Deloitte is kind of a secure job. You know, they don't let you go that easily. So you should not be worrying about that if you're selected. Okay.
Irish, any more questions?
No, no, no. There's no probation in Deloitte. Once you're in, you're in. It's not like other companies. Yeah, I know other companies they have this probation thing. After 3 months, you have a training, and based on the score, you have an incentive. No, it's not like that in Deloitte. Okay, I'll just share some interesting things. Do you guys know about the perks at Deloitte that you get?
No, I'm not aware about the first chance. If you go ahead and tell us.
Okay, I would love to, but I think I shouldn't discuss it over here. It would depend like on the year. But yeah, you can Quora it or you can find it on Google. It's the standard perks that you get offered on the team that you're allocated to. So you can expect a lot of good perks. Phones, laptops, good laptops. We got a good laptop and screens, monitors, everything.
Okay, Ishan. Well, I regarding the work-life balance, Ishan have already talked about it. We have discussed the question earlier. Please
Yeah, I
proceed
did.
with
It totally depends on you,
what
Ayush. If you're in for like if you want to get a promotion, then you have to work harder, right? You have to stand out from others. So it would depend on what you want to do at Deloitte. And if you don't work, then yeah, they will let you go. They don't have a choice, right? So you have to mandatorily work, and you have to put in extra work if you want to get, ahead.
Okay, so I guess that was it, guys. I'm wrapping up the session now. You can reach out on LinkedIn. As I said, I'll share his LinkedIn ID with you all. Resume. Someone is asking me to share a resume with them. I'm not really sure if that would happen with my Instagram.
Okay, sure, sure, sure. Sorry. Should I share it right now?
Uh, are you
No.
comfortable sharing your resume? You can send it to me and I can send it to the person who wants to see it or something.
Okay. Yeah. I'll like mask it and send it to you. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure. Projects, Ishant have already discussed. Ayush, he did discuss his projects, his, the one it's included in the resume and all.
I'll share my GitHub with you. Most of my projects would be in my GitHub.
Yeah, GitHub would
It's
have been
nothing
nice.
special. Just one or two good projects, and you'll be good. I think it's the interview process. You have to like impress the interviewer. So kind of work on that. Work on your communication if you have to, and you'll be fine. Also, I just like I said, anticipate rejection in the beginning. Okay, so that if you get selected, you'll be like happier. You won't be sad that you didn't get selected. You already anticipated it, right? So
Yeah, okay. Um, so let's wrap up this session now. Again, I would like to thank you, Stay Sanjaya, for your time and valuable guys. We look forward to staying connected and hearing more about your future achievements. Thank you everyone for your participation. Let's continue to support each other from each other and as we move forward together. Have a great day and I'll surely share his LinkedIn and GitHub profile with you all guys. That's it. Ishant, if you'd like to say a few words, you can. Otherwise, everyone can listen.
uh, I think I'm mostly good, but yeah, I would say yeah, enjoy your final year. Make good friends, yeah. Okay, good friends, good life. And कॉलेज के बाद मिस करोगे so have fun in college while you can. 9 to 5 हो गया फिर you won't get that time. जितना हो सके enjoy कर लो. Along with your preparation, you will get placed. Everyone gets placed. यार चिंता मत करो. and be relaxed. Or I think you all are smart. You can get into whatever company you like. All the best. Okay, all the best, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Prashant. Everyone can mute them now. Thank you guys for being here today.
Thank you.